Hello YouTube buddies and welcome to this week's video. So this week's video is going to be a little update on what's happening with my children's book. So as I might have slipped out in one of the other videos, I was intending to use a company called IngramSpark to help self-publish my book. Things might be changing. I'm still waiting to hear back from them, so I'm not going to say anything too definite yet, but I was going to use IngramSpark because they're a self-publishing distribution wing of the Ingram Publishing Group. It's an American company, and they're really good for self-publishers because they allow self-publishers to have access to their distribution network. So booksellers around the world would be able to have access to your book. So I signed up all of my book details. I made all my pages, signed up all of my metadata with them, and was good to go. So I thought I'll order one copy to see what it looks like, make sure the colours look right on the page, and it's here. So my book has arrived. This is the proof book, and I would say the cover is lovely, but inside the printing quality is so poor. And I really don't like saying that because, you know, they've been great so far. All of the information on their website is fantastic. They really are very transparent in how the process works, in giving you lots of support and ideas as a self-publisher, how to push your book and your marketing techniques, and they're really all round, holistically, are very, very helpful, and they give you loads of information without having to sign up either. So I'm not trying to be a downer on IngramSpark. Printing a children's book is expensive because of the coloured pages. It just costs more. The books are bigger, the pages are colour. So I mean, I did go for the standard printing option rather than the premium printing option, because if I went for the premium printing option, I wouldn't have been making any money per book, basically. So I'd be doing this to make other people rich. And that's not what I'm doing it for. But the paper would be the same, it'd just be a different printing method, as far as I understand. So it'd be the same size paper, but the paper is so thin. I mean, you can't just see the reverse side of the page, you can see the page underneath the page. So I really don't think it's going to be suitable for printing children's books. I can imagine if you're printing a textbook with no pictures, it would be brilliant. The paper's lovely quality for that kind of book, for a normal novel. But for children's books, so the paper in children's books tends to be like, I don't know if you can see here, but it tends to be a bit glossy, like silk at least. Let me get another one. Either silk paper or a gloss paper. Hopefully you can see a shine on there. But this paper is just like normal novel, like matte paper, like office paper. And unfortunately it lets it down. I mean, the cover's lovely and everything, but it doesn't feel like a comparable children's book. It looks like it's been printed on a home printer, so the colours it's like an inkjet print. So I think, despite their claims that they can make self-published books look indistinguishable from traditionally published books, I don't think that's the case when it comes to children's books. I think when they're talking about that, I think they're talking mainly about novels and you know, text books, you know, like books without any pictures in. So I don't want to be on a downer with IngramSpark too much, because they are really helpful. If you're thinking about writing your own novel, have a look at IngramSpark. They've got loads of information. If you're going to be doing a children's book, a picture book, I mean, I'd probably look at other options. The thing that drew me to them was because of their distribution network. But there's no point, I mean, I thought about this for a few days now, there's no point me having access to be able to sell to bookshops easily around the world if I'm going to be giving a substandard product to them. I want this to be something that I'm really proud of. So I'm going to look into other options. So I've been looking through other UK-based printers who can print in the kind of paper quality that I want, because Ingram only gave you a choice of £50 weight standard paper, £70 weight standard paper. when I'm really looking for the choice of silk paper, gloss paper and different thicknesses as well. So I found a company. I haven't tested them out yet, but they seem really good, so I've been in contact with them, and I think what I'm going to do is rework my PDFs so that they line up with their printing requirements, and I'm going to print with them, which is very exciting. It does mean that I'm going to have to do all of my kind of marketing and selling myself, but I was expecting to do that anyway, because just because my book would have been available to booksellers across the world, they would still need to know to look for it. So I was still going to have to do a lot of legwork, contacting booksellers, getting my book out there in the media. So I don't think really in hindsight it's going to be too much different. The prices that I can get, this is the thing, the difference really is the pricing. So with IngramSpark, it's a print on demand seller, so you don't have to spend a lot of money up front buying a bulk stock of books. But this new way that I'm doing it, so to get the cost down per book, I'm going to have to buy in bulk of books. So that's the only difference. But I'm going to be running a Kickstarter campaign, so I haven't got it up and running yet because I still need to work out the costs and prices and how much it's going to cost to send, rewards out to people. And I am currently doing a colouring book to accompany the Dave book, our Dave. So yeah, I'm currently doing a colouring book to accompany this, and that's going to be one of the rewards on the Kickstarter, as far as I've got in my thought process anyway. And I might do some others like bookmark with it as well. So I just want to make sure that I've got an idea of how much it's all going to cost, how much it's going to weigh, and then I'll be getting the Kickstarter running soon, so that won't be too long. So that's basically where I'm at the moment. I've spent so long working on this book. I want it to be brilliant, and I want, if you guys are going to buy it, if you're going to contribute to the Kickstarter maybe, I want you to get this book and go, wow, not, oh, she printed it at home. I want it to look profesh, because I've spent a long time on it. I've illustrated it all by hand. I've had to do it, those of you who watch like my previous videos will know that I finished all the pages and realised they were the wrong dimensions. Then I had to illustrate them all again. I've put loads of work into this. I want it to stand alongside other books in the kind of children's book genre, and I want it to look like it belongs with them. And currently when you open the pages, it doesn't at all, really. So hopefully my new printer will be able to sort out my problems. But really, I'm going to leave that book there. That book. I've got books on my mind. I'm going to leave this video there because if you've watched my other videos, you'll know I have a tendency to ramble. So I hope you're all keeping happy and safe and healthy, and if you've got any questions or comments about what I'm up to at the moment, pop them in the comment section below. I do always check to see if there's any comments, but there very rarely is. So if you do want to ask me anything, pop it in the comments and I will get back to you. But I'm going to leave that there. So until next week, bye bye.